Hey everybody. So behind me is the fourth pile of wood chips that the town has dropped off. It's a mix of soft and hardwoods, firs, poplar, beech, birch, oak, maple, probably some wild apple as well, pines, firs, spruces. We have a couple of tamaracks on our property, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some elsewhere as well. I think I hear them again down the road, so we're going to get started on this pile again this morning. I've been working, but figured that I would take a moment and talk about workflow and ergonomics, because when you're getting 16 to 20 yards every couple of days, making sure that you don't hurt yourself, making sure that you can finish your projects so you can get more wood chips is really important. So I want to talk about tools, I want to talk about ergonomics. Hurt myself in the past, so learn from my mistakes instead of yours. Let's get started. So when you've got woody debris, chunks, things like this, it's pretty light, it's pretty airy in places. You might think, what's the best tool for moving a whole bunch of volume of loose, fluffy material? Obviously, you're thinking about a mulch shovel or a gravel shovel, something that holds a lot of volume. And there's a couple of things about these that I'm not really crazy about. First, even if you've got a sharp edge, which I don't because I use this shovel for gravel, you may be able, I'm doing this one-handed for you guys, you may be able to scoop some up and dump it in. But if you're going in the middle of the pile, there's so much weight on the top. And it doesn't look like a lot, but this stuff gets compressed, it condenses, and it stops your shovel. So how do you fix that? You got a nice little handle on there. You can push, right? Except you're not overcoming that stopping force. You're not overcoming that barrier. So you add more force, and you add more power, and even if with two hands, you're gonna come across that resistance, and you're gonna have to fight, and fight. If you put your hand on the back of that and try to straight arm it, force it in with the force of a stiffened wrist, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna take a knee for that. I introduce the mulch fork. Regular pitchfork. Best thing in the world for this. Watch. One hand. Straight in. Lift. Turn the whole body and dump. That's it. Turn the whole body and dump. Now that that's out of the way, town came by, dropped off another 6 yards or so. So I've been working my way through that, showing you guys a little bit of what we've been putting it towards. This is a 40-foot by 15-foot bed. You may, if you've seen our videos before, recognize the garage, which is uphill from the pond that we've been digging, which is downhill from the rest of the field. A few new additions. Building a new chicken coop. Hoorah. We also picked up some 265-gallon IBC totes, so once I've cleared out some of the wood chips and have a break in their delivery schedule, we're going to be moving some of that trash, hopefully taking it to the dump, flattening it, building a rig to put those 2 totes to catch runoff from the roof, and then overflow the rest of the way to the pond. So this 40-foot by 15-foot bed, yesterday I came down and put about 3 yards of wood chips in, a little bit more maybe, and today I have come down and, by my math, put down about another 3. It's 23 piles there. Every 8 piles from the wheelbarrow is approximately a cubic yard. So that's my math. Check it. Oh my god, the town guys are back. I am ill prepared, folks. I was going to rake this out and make this nice and smooth. I may have to wait. I didn't get a glimpse at how heavy their truck was. Oh well. Well, we're going to start raking. I'm going to pop out for a minute, move a few things just in case they do swing by while I'm raking this out. And, yeah. Catch you in a minute. So town guys just dropped off another 5 or 6 yards. I think that brings us to 60-ish, 50 to 60 yards in the past 6 days or so that we've received. I do have a plan for all of it, but might have to break out the tractor to really start keeping up. For now, though, I'm going to rake this out, see where it needs coverage, and may end up dropping another 3 yards on top of this, depending on how thick we can get it. So here we go. Alright, so it's not perfect. It's not entirely homogenized, but you do what you can. We're going to let some of this cook down a bit, see where we're at. Apparently, there is plenty of wood chip for me to get from the town, so we're going to keep rocking. But in the meantime, grab a hori hori. Going to pull apart some of these wood chips, see where we're at. Look for kind of a low spot here. Alright, so there's our hole. There's the top of the wood chip. I'm going to say we're at like 4 or 5 inches, so over the course of 6 yards, we've managed to put about 5 inches down. 4 or 5 inches. So if I do another 6 yards here, that should put us hopefully around 8, 9 inches. Now, in the meantime, in between yesterday and today, I did take the tractor out and roll back and forth, similar to how a sheep's foot roller would roll down wheat or rye or really any of your grains, any of your canes, anything you've been growing as a no-till green mat crop. So you can kind of see the pattern of the grass where I was backing up and going back in. That's under there too. You just can't see it now because I've raked over it all. But the idea is that it will form a denser mat so that the grass has an even harder time competing with the thickness of this barrier. But I would like to get it to between 8 and 10 inches if I can. before I consider this completely done. Come this fall, we'll be planting in some shrub layer and under canopy layer trees for production, cuttings, and propagation, as well as testing, harvesting, and really just getting the hang of the various crops and things that I wish I had access to. Oh, look. Someone's been watching us. So, one last note. This does look very green. Obviously, a whole lot of brown. There's a good mix of greens and browns if you're into the composting ratios, but carbons and nitrogens, browns and greens, leaves and sticks. If you're concerned that arborist chips or the town DPW's tree trimmings are not right for your situation, I have this for your consideration. So here we are in one of the front areas, and these wood chips down on the ground here in front of you were also from today. And again, lots of green, but these are just the most recent. And got something to show you. So let's take a little walk. Right about here was Friday's chips. So some of today's, some of Friday's, and down here we have the chips from Thursday. Doesn't look like a whole bunch of dead leaves to me. Doesn't look like crappy mulch. It looks like all natural chipped whole wood mulch. Not just bark, but the whole tree. So I think it looks nice. Another couple of days and it'll completely dry out. Most of the greens will either break apart and start settling in or be broken down by the microbial life, the ants, the beetles, the tinier things. Or it'll be scratched to death by my chickens, because I keep moving wood chips instead of building them a coop. But, yeah, for your consideration. Free wood chips. Pretty nice.